Singapore has imposed financial sanctions and export controls on Russia after it condemned Moscow's decision to invade Ukraine. Foreign Affairs Minister Vivian Balakrishnan told Parliament earlier this week that the move violated international law. Joining me tonight to share more is Dr. Balakrishnan. Welcome to the show, Minister.
Good evening.
As we mentioned, Singapore has taken a rare move of sanctioning Russia, calling Russia's invasion of Ukraine an existential issue for us, all the way in Singapore. Why?
You know, some Singaporeans have asked me, why is a tiny city-state like us, 8,000 kilometers from Ukraine, taking such a strong stand? Precisely because we are a small, tiny city-state. A large, powerful neighbor has invaded a weaker, smaller neighbor. This is a dagger to the heart of the norms of international law and the UN Charter. If we don't stand up now on principle, without taking sides, but to state that there has to be respect for international law, for independence, for sovereignty, and for the territorial integrity of smaller countries, our world that we're going to live in is going to be a very dangerous world. So this is a dangerous precedent. And therefore, it is an existential issue. Therefore, we have to stand up. We have to take a stand on principle and express it clearly, unequivocally.
Now, obviously, a lot of things will change. What impact will Russia's invasion of Ukraine have on world order? And how does Singapore and the larger Asian region navigate this?
Well, it all depends on how this evolves. If this precedent is allowed to stand, then it's all bets are off. The world order, which has prevailed for 7 decades based on the UN Charter, based on mutual respect for all states, regardless of size, based on respecting territorial integrity, based on every country, every people having the independence to decide their destiny. All that is put to question. And that, as I said, is a world order which is inimical to small states. The next point is that it depends very much on what happens next, whether diplomacy is given a chance. If, and I hope and pray that diplomacy and good sense and goodwill will prevail, restraint will be applied, lives will be saved, then at least we've got a chance to make some kind of recovery. But whatever it is, the impact on the economy, impact on norms, don't underestimate. This is going to be a long-term problem.
Right. And, as you said, a long-term problem requires long-term solutions. How are we going to navigate it again?
Well, as I said, we're not taking sides. We're not getting engaged in the disputes. But what we are saying is that norms do matter. International law matters. Respect for each other's sovereignty, independence, territorial integrity, absolutely essential. And then use international law, use the means for peaceful resolution of disputes. So it's about establishing norms of behavior at state level. And look, actually, the stand that we're taking is not really new. In 2014, when Crimea was taken, we also expressed categorically our opposition to that. And I can tell you, I've met Foreign Minister Lavrov several times over the years, and we've been able to have good conversations, sat down, he knows exactly our stand, I express it. It did not stop us from continuing to explore other areas in which our relations could be conducted. So the point is, I'm saying it is possible to take a stand without taking sides. It is possible to construct or reconstruct or repair relations, but to do so in a principled and consistent and reliable way. And actually, that's what makes Singapore relevant, useful, and a partner that people take seriously. I'm very glad that we are not alone. If you look at what happened in the UN General Assembly just 2 days ago, 141 countries voted just the way we did, to deplore the invasion of Russia into Ukraine. So I still hope, I guess as a diplomat, you have to be optimistic and you have to keep trying.
I want to bring you closer to home. It's been frustratingly little progress in the area of Myanmar, particularly on that 5-point consensus 1 year on. So I'm wondering, what more should ASEAN or what more could ASEAN do to move this process forward?
Let me be very frank. I'm very, very disappointed. This is a tragedy. We all have friends from Myanmar, and we know how disappointed, how their hopes have been dashed. We still believe in the 5-point consensus, which was arrived at by our leaders in April last year. And I still hope that the military authorities will abide by this. We have a planned visit by the special envoy later this month. I hope he will be given access to all parties. When you have a deep-seated, difficult problem like this, the use of force is never a long-term solution. At the end of the day, you're going to need reconciliation, honest discussion, face-to-face meetings, and to the extent that ASEAN can play a facilitative role to mediate what I hope will be a fairer and sustainable and constructive outcome for the people of Myanmar, I hope dearly that we achieve that. But I am also realistic enough to tell you that I think this will take a long time. There are no quick and easy answers.
Understand. Now, in the interest of time, I did want to also get in a question on Malaysia and how you would characterize our relations with Malaysia, particularly post-COVID. Where are we, doing well? What do we do well together? And where do we really need to work on it a little bit more?
I would say our relations are excellent. During COVID, we have proven to each other that we've been absolutely reliable partners. We made sure supply chains didn't go down. We looked after each other's people, both in terms of evacuation, in terms of taking care and enabling families to get together when they need to. Now, if you look at the epidemiology curves in both Malaysia and Singapore, I think it's a matter of time that we can look forward to the reopening, both the Causeway and Tuas. So I suppose in Malay, I would say akan datang.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. I would push you for a time, but we've run out of this time. But I do appreciate what you've said about many of the difficult issues that we are facing right now in the world. Thank you so much, Minister.